You know, it's interesting, when you found a company from a university, it's very different than when you build out a division in a company or you're founding a company from people who are usually business people. The difference really is, in many ways, you're helping the academic researcher feel comfortable with the research that she is doing or he is doing, at the same time helping them feel comfortable with moving past or moving beyond just research for the sake of research, to saying that the lens of the market is a valid lens for doing research. The lens of the market, in addition to the lens of science, is a valid and appropriate way of doing that research. It's very different when you do it from a university perspective than from a corporate perspective. Your goal is to do something that you will bring out as a product or a service. An academic piece of research generally isn't that way. So it's a combination with the academic of respecting the need of the academic researcher and the institution, as well as putting use to the actual invention. I chose to leave corporate America at one point in my career because I had this dream that I was very fortunate. I'd made it relatively young as a corporate vice president in large corporations, and I felt that I had learned a lot. Could I learn more? You can always learn more, right? You're not just a scientist for the purity of science, or you're a money-grubbing little slime who's going to go out and make money with the science that you're doing. But rather, they're just two sides of the same coin. They have to help each other going forward, especially if that's what we want on our planet, the opportunity for good positive science, creating good positive jobs, creating good positive economic climate. So I had the opportunity of working at the University of Southern Mississippi as a professor of practice, and my first foray into this, we had a very large grant called an IGERT grant to actually bring together polymer science, medicinal chemistry to create companies in Mississippi, which we successfully have done, and I'm proud that some of our students have actually moved on with that. And the key learning is this: if we could only all be kinder and gentler and not just hold the position that what we were trained as when we were younger is the only right position. It is not an either or. It is not I am good and right and clean and pure if I only do science, or good and right and clean and pure if I only do business, because it depends on your lens, or vice versa. Helping students, therefore, as innovators, think about a trajectory of being a researcher, then potentially looking at the lens of the market as a way to think about bringing in more data to hone their innovation to solve a market problem, because that's really an innovation. It's when it solves a market problem. Then moving it forward to economic success, which employs people, helps the planet. That is in parallel importance to the inanimate of taking the research, making an innovation, building a company. And I'm delighted to be able to be working now with an organization called the National Collegiate Inventors and Innovators Alliance, and particularly with my partner Joseph Steig in a new venture called Venture Well, which is focused on, as we like to say it, not believing it's a valley of death as you take research into commercial, but it's a time of brilliance. And we work together with students and faculty who are open and willing, like Sue, to try to make that a reality. It's a constantly changing landscape because science changes, generations change, students change, funding mechanisms change, but in general, it's a human endeavor to want to see what you've created see the light of day in a positive way like Sue has done.